Dear students of class 9A and B, today's teaching is lesson number 6, the age of the Guptas. The age of the Guptas. Today's point is Allahabad pillar inscription. Allahabad pillar inscriptions, or Prayaga Prasasti. What is Allahabad pillar inscription? Allahabad pillar inscription was an inscription which was made by the court poet of Samudragupta, Harisana. Harisana's court poet was Samudragupta's court poet was Harisana. You know, Samudragupta was a famous ruler, one of the most powerful rulers of the Gupta dynasty. That very famous ruler Samudragupta's court poet was Harisana, and that very Harisana made the Allahabad pillar inscription. At Allahabad, one pillar was constructed by Samudragupta under his instruction. His court poet Harisana prepared a number of lists of different kings and tribal republics in the form of inscription depicted on the surface of the wall of Allahabad pillar. The main aim of the Allahabad pillar inscription was to praise the achievements of Samudragupta. That's why it is also known as Prayaga Prasasti. Prayaga. It was constructed besides Prayaga. That's why it is also known as Prayaga Prasasti. At Allahabad, Prayaga is there, you know. So, it is also known as Prayaga Prasasti. Prasasti means praise. Of whom? Praise of Samudragupta. Samudragupta was not only a powerful ruler, but also a ruler of good strategy, a ruler of good diplomacy. That's why Samudragupta was able to extend his empire in different parts of our country, India. Samudragupta was a ruler who extended his empire. He wanted to extend his empire towards southern part of India, southern India. And many kings and tribal republics of South India, Samudragupta was able to conquer their lands, but finally he did not annex it. He made them agree to accept his political supremacy and allowed them to rule their country, to rule their territories independently. He did not annex it. If you would mind to annex their territories, he could do it. But he could not do it. Why? Because he wanted to glorify his image. He wanted to signify. He wanted to establish his political supremacy, his skills throughout India. That's why, in spite of being, in spite of being plundered, all the territories of the southern part of India, the kings, the the kings and the tribal republics came under his control, but still he did not annex their territories. Simply, after having conquered their lands, he did not annex it, but allowed them to accept his political supremacy and then allowed them to rule. This is Samudragupta, the famous ruler of the Gupta dynasty. So, Allahabad pillar inscription is a symbol of glory and image of the Gupta dynasty. It describes not only the age of Samudragupta and his achievements, but also the age of the ancient Gupta rulers, the age of the ancient Gupta rulers and their achievements. It is believed that Sri Gupta and his son Ghatatkacha Gupta were the founder rulers of the Gupta dynasty. But it is contradictory. That's why it is believed that Chandragupta I was the original founder ruler of the Gupta dynasty, Chandragupta I. Now, who was Chandragupta I and what did he do? Chandragupta I is considered as the founder ruler of the Gupta dynasty, but it is also believed that Sri Gupta is the founder ruler of the Gupta dynasty, and his son Ghatatkacha Gupta also ruled and extended the territory of the Guptas. But there is no necessary evidences in support of the two kings, Ghatatkacha Gupta and Sri Gupta and Ghatatkacha Gupta. But there are so many evidences in support of Chandragupta I. So it is said that, it is believed that Chandragupta I is the real founder ruler of the Gupta dynasty. Now, how did he extend his empire and became popular and powerful ruler of the Gupta dynasty? Chandragupta I extended his empire by adopting a policy of matrimony. His policy of matrimonial relationship with neighboring states helped him to extend his empire. He established matrimonial relations and married Kumara Devi, the tribal princess, and then extended his empire towards different parts of India. Who was he? He was Chandragupta I. Chandragupta I married a Lichavi princess Kumara Devi, and besides, Chandragupta Maurya's talent, his quality, his strategy while fighting against his enemies proved him to be the king of kings. He obtained the title Maharaja Dhiraja, and after declaring his independence in Magadha, Chandragupta extended his empire through that matrimonial alliance with the tribal group of people, and at the same time by marrying a Lichavi princess Kumara Devi. Chandragupta Maurya wanted to establish a reign for the people. People were happy, rich and prosperous. How? Because whatever administration he introduced, it helped the people to lead a very peaceful life. The system he introduced, the system of punishment he introduced was very mild. At the same time, he also was a tolerant ruler. He allowed all groups of all religious groups to exercise their religions and practices independently. In that case, state would not interfere their affairs. And besides, Chandragupta Maurya consolidated the Gupta dynasty and strengthened its foundation. That's why it is said that Chandragupta I is the real founder ruler of the Gupta dynasty. According to Harisena, who was the court poet of Samudragupta, in his famous Allahabad pillar inscription, he also wrote about Chandragupta I. Besides, he provides an impressive list of kings and tribal republics that were conquered by Samudragupta later. But Chandragupta I, how did he extend his empire, and who were his enemies? How did he defeat them? What technique and method and strategy he adopted? These all are mentioned in the Allahabad pillar inscription by the court poet of Samudragupta, Harisena. That means Harisena came to know from Samudragupta, and Samudragupta also came to know it from from other rulers. And then the idea about the previous rulers came orally, and by the idea, and as per that these ideas about the previous rulers of the Gupta dynasty, Harisena, the court poet of Samudragupta, wrote it in vivid description in the Allahabad pillar inscription. And besides, it is said that as a great conqueror and patron of arts, Samudragupta extended his empire from Brahmaputra in the east to river Yamuna and Chambal in the west, and from Himalayas in the north to Narmada in the south. And by this way, Samudragupta extended a large empire and strengthened it, and people considered him to be their favorite rulers during the Gupta period. Further, he extended his empire up to the Chambal river by defeating the Naga kings of Mathura, Gwalior and Harishatra. That's why Samudragupta is compared to Alexander the Great. Why? Because he was a daring king of the Gupta dynasty, like whom? Like Alexander the Great, daring king. And it is because of this reason Samudragupta, also a patron of arts, patron of art, culture, education. That's why he patronized many distinguished people, especially educated people, artists, painters. And at the time of Samudragupta, the art, the architecture, the painting, the style reached to its highest extent. And that's why the necessary information, whatever he got from Samudragupta and his reign, he narrated it in the Allahabad pillar inscription. Who was he? He was Harisena. Harisena obtained, and we generally obtain necessary information from the Allahabad pillar inscription. And it describes the reign of not only the reign of Samudragupta, but also the reign of the Guptas in ancient India. So up to this, next day I shall discuss about Samudragupta in detail. Now I would like to analyze one more point, and that is Allahabad pillar inscription. What is Allahabad pillar inscription? Allahabad pillar inscription, who made it? Allahabad pillar inscription was made by Harisena. Who was Harisena? The court poet of Samudragupta. Who was Samudragupta? Samudragupta was the best ruler of the Gupta dynasty. He was the king of kings. he obtained the title Maharaja Dhiraja. Who obtained the title of the Gupta dynasty? Maharaja Dhiraja. Samudragupta obtained the title Maharaja Dhiraja of the Gupta dynasty. Who was known as the king of the kings? Samudragupta was known as the king of the kings. And why did he arrange to make such a pillar, Allahabad pillar inscription, to praise his glory, his achievements? That's why he got it constructed, the Allahabad pillar inscription. Who did it? It was done by his court poet Harisena. It is also known as Prayaga Prasasti. Why? Because it was constructed beside the river Prayaga, and it is constructed in the form of a praise of the rule of Samudragupta and his achievements. That's why it is also known as Prayaga Prasasti. Prayaga Prasasti. It not only describes about the rule and achievements of Samudragupta, but it also describes the rule of other kings of the Gupta dynasty. It is believed that Sri Gupta and Ghatatkaja Gupta were the founder rulers of the Gupta dynasty, but there is no evidence in support of them. That's why the evidence. That's why it is said that the Gupta era originated with the reign of Chandragupta I. The Gupta era originated with the reign of Chandragupta I. Chandragupta I was the first independent king with the title of Maharaja Dhiraja, or the king of kings. And after declaring his independence in Magadha, Chandragupta extended his empire by adopting the policy of matrimony, and he married the Lichavi princess Kumara Devi and strengthened his empire. Next day, I shall discuss in detailed form about Samudragupta. Up to this, my dear students. Thank you.